right, so I'm going to show you the drawing that I have here that I have pictures of on the presentation, and I've kind of finished it up a little bit here, but I wanted to show you the next steps in this process. Once you have what you think is a good design idea, you're actually going to go in and clean it up and remove any lines that you don't feel like need to be there. So I have these repeated circles here, this concentric circles that go from the center here. You just want to go through and erase what you don't need and then darken up the things that you want to keep. So like, for example, in this leaf here, I'm part of a concentric circle. I don't need that. I do want this little leaf line here, but I don't need that concentric circle in there. Don't need it there, but I do want to darken it up here and here and here. And then I want to get rid of it in my little arrowhead forms, right? So I'm just going to go through and refine the lines in the areas of my drawing that I want to keep and eliminate those lines where I don't need them and I don't want them. So I've got to do that throughout the entire piece and just try to clean things up. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just needs to be cleaned up a bit so that things look a little bit more finished. This is of course not finished yet because it's on a piece of newsprint. And remember, we don't use the newsprint for our final work. We use newsprint for our planning. So I'm just going to go through and just add bolder marks where I feel it's necessary, erase where I don't want lines to be, and come in here and clean all this up. So I have these radiating lines and these concentric circles that I want to keep, then I want to get rid of them in my leaves. I want to make sure I see it there behind the bunny's eye. Keep that neat. Just tidy this up so that we know what parts of this design we're keeping, what parts we're going to eliminate, and what we'll trace onto our final paper for the final part of this, which will be where we put it on paper, add the color that we're going to add and the value changes that we're going to add, and then cut it apart and add layers. Right? It's a lot to still do because it's a pretty involved project. And whereas we're going for symmetry, it does not have to be perfect, right? If you want perfect, you can go to Target, buy something that's been made by a machine. We're making these by hand. Perfection is not what we're looking for. We're looking for creativity, good craftsmanship. We're not looking for everything needing to be absolutely 100% perfect. I just want to make sure I know what stuff I'm going to trace and what stuff I'm going to get rid of. Right? So I feel like this guy looks okay. He's not perfect. Kind of has a bit of a stormtrooper bunny look to him, which I kind of dig. Kind of digging that. I don't know, something about him looks like a stormtrooper, which I think is fun. I still haven't decided what to do inside of his ears. I do feel like there might need to be something that happens there. I just don't know what yet. So I'm just going to wait on that, but I'm going to go ahead and use the light box again to trace him onto, sorry, I don't know how to put him on here because he's so big, but I'm going to put him onto some drawing paper and start thinking about what parts are going to be over the top of other things, and because we're going to be doing layers. So there's going to be things that are definitely in the background, like my leaves and these arrows and things. They're definitely going to be in the background, and he's going to be in the foreground, but I have to decide how I'm going to add layers to this, because it can get a little crazy, but I think it's going to be fun, and hopefully you're digging this project and having a good time with it. So I'm going to go ahead and start the tracing.